This is Channel 25 WVTT Olean. Now, from the Twin Tiers' biggest broadcast news operation, this is the 6 o'clock report with Jeff Andrulonis and Alexa Olson. Listen on News Radio 96.7 WVTT or watch on News Channel 25 WVTT television. WVTT proudly presents the 6 o'clock report.
Good evening, I'm Alexa Olson.
And I'm Jeff Andrulonis. Good evening. The big story tonight on the 6 o'clock report. A former Salamanca middle school teacher made a court appearance today. He's 39-year-old Sean Reithmiller, a teacher and coach with the Salamanca School District, now accused of allegedly sharing sexual text messages and pictures with a 15-year-old student. He was charged with 7 felony counts of sexual abuse, pleaded not guilty to the charges back in January. The Salamanca School District said that after receiving information about Reithmiller from students and other teachers, they started an investigation into the matter. Reithmiller was reassigned to the district office in September, but resigned later that month. At his arraignment, the judge ordered Reithmiller not to contact his alleged victim.
Portville Truck and Auto has been a local repair shop for nearly 30 years, but recently they received quite an expensive shock. The New York State Department of Environmental Conservation issued Portville Truck a $10,000 fine for an unfinished garage expansion. The DEC says a small portion of the addition was illegally built on the flood water encasement of the nearby dike. President of the company, Chris Travis, says he received all the necessary permits before the project began and was unaware that the expansion would cause such an issue. He explained that he is still unsure of what a floodwater encasement is, but that according to the state, it was his responsibility to obtain and know that information. Travis owns another shop in Kane, Pennsylvania. He says he's considering moving at least 80% of his business there. Portville Truck and Auto currently employs approximately 50 people.
A poll conducted last week shows that the race for New York's 23rd congressional district is tightening. It's now a 5-point race. According to an internal poll, the gap between Republican Congressman Tom Reed and Democrat challenger Nate Shinagawa continues to narrow significantly. It's happened between late August and now in mid to late October. Congressman Reed's support remains stagnant around 45% among likely voters who have already made up their minds in this election, while Shinagawa, that is, has increased his support by over 10 points. It now exceeds 40%, according to the latest poll numbers.
Well, Congressman Tom Reed says he believes American citizens should not have to pay more taxes. He warns that if the Bush-era tax cuts are allowed to expire, Americans will find themselves in an even deeper recession.
First and foremost, we cannot raise taxes in this environment. To have those tax increases that are and will be the largest tax increases in American history hit us in these dire economic times, to me, is just foolish, and it goes counter to what we're trying to do, and that's create a competitive environment upon which jobs will be created for today and tomorrow.
A leaking gas line in Olean is now fixed after spewing gas for 2.5 hours today. It started leaking after the city crew hit the line at the corner of Genesee and Center Street around 10 a.m. this morning. Earlier today, firefighters say the residents in the area could be asked to evacuate as precaution. WVTT talked to Jim Tucker, a resident on Center Street. He said he had not been asked to evacuate.
No, they haven't come over here. And I'm right next door, so I don't know. A few times I asked her, she said, nothing to worry about. The gas will go with the gas line.
Meanwhile, shoppers at a Wegmans grocery store in Jamestown got a surprise over the weekend. Tanglewood Manor residents in Jamestown organized a flash mob and surprised shoppers with gifts. It all started when Manor employees pitched in $1 to wear jeans on Casual Friday. After they raised a large amount of money, they decided to give back to the community. The employees organized that flash mob and gave away gift cards or even paid for some people's grocery shopping.
About a quarter of New York students entering college must take remedial courses to get them where they should have been after high school. To lower that number, the state implemented new curriculum standards this year. New York is one of 45 states to adopt the National Common Core Standards, which outline a dozen shifts in the way students are taught. The rigorous new English and math standards aim to make students college and career ready from kindergarten through 12th grade. The goal is building an educational foundation to support whatever else follows.
A world-famous natural attraction at Niagara Falls is closed earlier than expected after a small rock slide. New York State officials closed the Cave of the Winds on Saturday after several large rocks tumbled onto the path overnight and damaged several gates and railings. Nobody was in the area when the rocks fell. Now, the Cave of the Winds had been scheduled to close this Wednesday, along with the Maid of the Mist. The park's spokesman tells WVTT that rock slide was probably caused by heavy rains. Coming up on the 6 o'clock report, our first look at weather. Also straight ahead, the latest on the bloodshed in Syria in WVTT's Global News Roundup. It's coming up here on News Channel 25 WVTT.